Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So I was about to do a propagation, a stem cutting of one of my Crassula Ovata variegated. It's a variegated version of the jade plant. So I was about to do a stem cutting and I had a question, how much sunlight should we give to the jade plant? Now guys, remember, just like any other plant, after acclimating you can give a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. That is where I have kept my succulent. It gets a good amount of sunlight, but ensure that you do not expose it to afternoon direct sunlight, otherwise the leaves can easily get burned because they have a lot of variegation. They're almost white, the leaves are almost white in color. So if there is going to be a strong sunlight like the afternoon sunlight, definitely the leaves will get burnt. So ensure that you keep them in a place where it gets a good amount of either direct sunlight or indirect but really bright light for almost 8 to 9 hours. Now guys, another very important thing, because this is a variegated plant, this plant tends to lack a lot of chlorophyll, which means that it becomes little difficult for the plant to prepare the food because they do not have the chlorophyll in them. Now ideally they also tend to do their photosynthesis during the night time, but they also require sunlight in order to prepare their food, to conduct the second part of their photosynthesis. Now you need to understand that your Crassula Ovata will revert back to green in color if it doesn't get a lot of light. So ensure that you're keeping it in a good amount of light. Now the only reason I'm sure why you're buying this plant is because of the variegation, but in case if you're going to keep it in a very low light or less light, one, it's going to stretch. Secondly, the variegation will start to disappear because the succulent is not getting a lot of light, so it will start to reduce the variegation pattern on it. So ensure that you're giving it a good amount of light, either morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours after acclimating it, or indirect bright light throughout the day. But you can even give afternoon direct sunlight provided you have a filtration, maybe a polycarbonate sheet or a green net. Any one will work out really well. The care requirements remains the same as we have for our Crassula Ovata. I will put the link in the description below. The same care requirements what we give for a regular Ovata, which is a non-variegated one, the care requirements remain the same. So let me quickly chop off one of the stem. So I'm going to take the base stem because this is the smaller one. So I'm going to take the smaller one. I'll leave the bigger ones. Probably I'll propagate them sometime later, but right now I'll just take the smaller one. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut it completely from the stem. I'm going to leave some part of the stem so that it can put out new growth. So I will just cut it right over here. There we go. And we have our first variegated stem cutting. Now you can see it is putting out a new pup over here. Very soon this will also callus, and probably it might put out a pup. If that happens, I will definitely keep you guys updated. But this is how it tends to look like. I want to separate the others as well, but I'll wait for some more time. Probably what I'll do is I will be separating it over here so that I have enough stem in this spot so that it can put out new growth. You might have seen my regular Ovata also had put out new pups on the bare stem, so it will work out the same way. Now the same thing follows what we do for our other succulents. Both the cuts in the pot as well as this one, both have to heal, have to callus, which is going to take around 2 to 3 days. So ensure that they do not come in contact with any moisture. So I'm not very sure how long will this take to root out. Probably it might take 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe it might even take a month depending upon the environment. It is going to root. It looks absolutely beautiful. I really love the variegation on the Crassula Jade variegated. Looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know, a lot of people also tend to call them as tricolor, probably because they have 3 colors like the red, the white and the green, and a little bit of yellowish. So at times they are also called as tricolor. A lot of nursery or sellers also name them as tricolor to make them look a little bit fancy, but either ways they are absolutely beautiful. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.